Now that we've learned the slide up function, let's go ahead and learn the slide down function. So again, we want to use a selector, and I'm going to select exactly the same element. So it's the class element, right? Remember that you can use double quotes or single quotes. So, and now I'm going to say dot, and this time I'm going to use slide down. And I'm going to leave this empty. In fact, I'm going to leave the slide up empty too. So I'm going to remove that. So we're just going to use the default value of how fast they go without giving it any information. So let's see what happens now. So when I refresh, there you go. You see that slide up and be gone, and then slide down and come back. So it's actually hiding and then showing. And you just see that happen. And that's the speed that it happens without giving it any value in that event. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to do a fade out and a fade in. But this time, instead of doing it on one of the headings, I'm going to do it on the div itself. Now notice how the div does not have a class attribute. So how would we access that in CSS? In CSS, if we wanted to get a div with no class, we would do div. And that's exactly what we do here. So the selector is div, and that will select, in fact, every div in the HTML. We happen to only have one, so it's going to get that one. And now what we're going to do is another function, and this function is the fade out. And we'll put parentheses there and see what that does. And we refresh. Okay, notice what it did with the whole div. Now let's slow that down so we can see it. So I'm going to put the 1200 in here. And you can pick any number of milliseconds that you want for how long you want it to last. And let's go ahead and refresh it. Okay, so you saw the up and down, right? It slide up, slide down, and then it faded out. So the whole div just faded away. So you kind of see it leaving. And there's another function called fade in. So let's do that too, and we'll get that div back. So again, I'm going to select it with div. That will select all the divs in the HTML. And I'm going to use fade in. And I'm going to do this one with 1200 milliseconds as well. So save that and refresh. There we go. Now, watch it again. Slide up, slide down, fade out, and fade in. And so you see those animations happening. And that's how we add animations using jQuery.